WHB, it's the Border Patrol on 38 The Spot.
It's showtime!
Now, on Sports Radio 810 WHB, Walker Medical Linen Services, delivering premium products, seamless service, and guaranteed cost savings to the medical industry. And Coventry Healthcare, your great local health insurance plan, proudly present The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol live on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Stephen St. John. My co-host is Nate Bukaty. We have Aaron Swartz in a dress shirt that is trying to fix some equipment right now. He's very technical right now. And Jake Gutierrez with his hair messed up. Can we get a producer cam, please, so everyone can say hello to Jake Gutierrez and Aaron Swartz? Jake? Nice boyish hairstyle. Aaron,
he shaved today. Jake shaved his face today.
Fresh shaven. Aaron Swartz, please lean over to the producer mic and let people know what you're doing because you look very busy and important.
Yeah, just trying to get some connections worked out here. You know, got the bugs going right now.
Give us the terminology that we won't understand.
Well, what we have here, Steve, is a graphics computer, and the graphics computer needs to be connected to the switcher in here that Jacob has.
Right.
And right now, it does not want to connect.
Switcher is what I took from that.
Got a bad switcher.
Jake and Aaron are like the C-3PO and R2-D2 of this show.
Who's who?
I'm R2.
Are you?
No way I'm C-3PO.
Why? It seems like you took great offense to that. All right.
What do you think?
I think it's time for the Border Report.
The Border Report on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
This just in. And now, here are the headlines.
This wonderful hour of the show brought to you by our good friends at Gales Harley-Davidson. You know, it's Kansas City's #1 most desired service department, Gales Harley-Davidson, Kansas City's undisputed leader in service. Go to feelthepower.com. Gales Harley-Davidson, where every day is an excuse to have some fun. All right, Nate Bukaty, let's start off with Monday Night Football last night. A significant Monday Night Football matchup because the Kansas City Chiefs, the undefeated 6-0 Kansas City Chiefs, will face the San Diego Chargers twice this season, and also the Indianapolis Colts will be coming to Arrowhead a little bit later on this season. And so many Chiefs fans keeping a close eye on that game last night. I think most people expected the Colts, even though the game was in San Diego, the Colts to win, but that didn't happen. San Diego, a very impressive 19-9 victory over the Indianapolis Colts last night. Andrew Luck held in check, 18-30 for 202 yards, did not throw a touchdown. Phillip Rivers was a little bit better, 22-33 for 237 yards. He did have a touchdown. Ryan Matthews went over 100 yards. But the guy I was most impressed with was third-round pick in this year's draft, Keenan Allen, wide receiver for San Diego. He had 9 catches for 107 yards, including a big touchdown, as the Chargers win 19-9. Now the Colts will have to take on the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning in a huge matchup on Sunday Night Football. So go Colts. I don't know how I feel about their chances after watching last night's game. But San Diego, since the Chiefs are going to play them twice, it looks like they're going to be a little tougher than we once thought. Your takeaway from the game last night, Nate Bukaty?
Yeah, this whole division looks tougher than we once thought. I mean, people were talking about the AFC West being one of the worst divisions in football outside of the Broncos, and the Raiders are nowhere near as bad as people said they were, and the Chargers look like they could be an above 500 team. And they look better coached this year. And as Jake pointed out in the first hour, they basically neutralized Andrew Luck by possessing the football. Short passes. Phillip Rivers got it out of his hands quickly. They had 4 consecutive drives of 11 plays or more. They possessed the ball for over 38.5 minutes, as opposed to just 21.5 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
By the Colts. So that's how they did it. And on the flip side, you mentioned Luck not looking very good. Well, once again, he was kept off the field. And also, he was victimized by 5 drops, and a couple of them really bad ones that would have been first down catches for the Colts in that game. So hopefully the Colts have a big bounce back at home, but we won't hold our breaths on that. But I've been pretty impressed by the Chargers so far this season.
Moving on to some Chiefs-specific news. Left tackle Brandon Albert left Sunday's victory over Oakland because of a knee sprain and an elbow strain. But Andy Reid told reporters yesterday that Brandon Albert should be available for this week's game against Houston at Arrowhead. Also, Brandon Flowers, who missed his second game in 3 weeks, is still battling some knee inflammation. Dontari Poe had a sprained ankle that he's been dealing with for the past few weeks, but he sure looked good out there. You know what he is? He's tough.
He is. He's a tough nut, as Andy Reid likes to say.
I think you like to say also.
Yeah. I'm not going to shy away from that.
How about some good news? Tight end Anthony Fasano.
Yes.
Who the Chiefs certainly could use. He's been out since the third game of the season because of ankle and knee issues. Andy Reid said he's made some progress and could be on the practice field Wednesday.
That would be huge.
As they prepare for Houston, that would be huge. So cross your fingers there.
I'm getting concerned about this Brandon Flowers recurring knee injury, though. Is this going to be the kind of chronic thing that he deals with all season long? It seems like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised that he missed the game after tweaking that knee in Friday's practice. So said it's still bothering him. But thankfully, the Chiefs, because of Marcus Cooper and that waiver claim made at the end of the preseason, they've been able to move forward and still win games without Brandon Flowers, and the defense really hasn't missed a beat. Now, as far as the opponent for Sunday's game, Houston Texans, the Houston Texans come to town. They don't know what quarterback they'll have available. Matt Schaub is recovering from leg and ankle injuries. He will be an end-of-the-week decision, so it could be Matt Schaub. It could be T.J. Yates, who was awful in relief of Matt Schaub on Sunday against the Rams, or it could be Case Keenum, former University of Houston Heisman Trophy candidate.
Who I don't think has an NFL arm, so I think either way, the Chiefs will be in good shape defensively against this team.
Well, let's hear from the head coach, Andy Reid. One thing that I think we can all agree upon, the defense has been magnificent, but the offense has plenty of room to get better, room for improvement, and Andy Reid says that he realizes that this offense can still get a lot better and hopes that it will.
Listen, things, and I'm never going to make an excuse for you, but that's not how we roll. The reality of it is we're a little bit young, and we've got to get better. And so, progressively, we've got to do that as we go. And so I'm seeing some phases where we're getting better, and we've got to continue to do that. And so we're going to work our tail off to get better. And then I've got to make sure that I get these guys in the right positions against the right looks, and then we take advantage of those when we're in those positions. So
I just like the fact that we have a coach that says that's not how we roll.
How do you roll?
Slow.
Yeah, that's right. That's the best way to roll.
Mm-hmm. Low profile.
Chiefs and Texans. What time's that game, Jake Gutierrez? It's a special start.
Late game, isn't it?
Yeah.
3:15.
3:20.
I think it's 3:25.
Yeah, 3:25.
Even later than that.
3:25.
More time to get to the pumpkin patch on Sunday morning before you go to the game.
That's a great point, because I have to do that. I enjoy the noon start. Sometimes I don't enjoy getting up early on Sunday after a late Saturday, especially when I'm watching a pay-per-view fight. But I will take full advantage, and I will go to a pumpkin patch this Sunday before the Chiefs game.
I raced home after the Raiders game and made it in time to get the kids to the pumpkin patch on this past Sunday. So
I saw that. I saw pictures on Facebook. You went hogging.
Well, no.
And that's a lot of fun, man.
We did not technically go hogging, but we did watch a little pig race.
I don't know what that means.
They raced the baby pigs around a little track.
Boy. That sounds like fun, though.
It was fun.
Did you bet on them?
Oh, yeah, we had some money going under the table. We, since we did the pumpkin patch last week, we might take this opportunity to go to Lewisburg Cider Mill. You ever been out there?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
We
do
went
that.
last year and had some delicious cider donuts.
Yeah.
They had
Cider slush.
They had a band out there. They had a barbecue truck.
Turkey legs.
Yeah, the turkey legs. Let's all go as a family. Jake, would you like to go to... you're out of town, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gone.
Where are you at this weekend?
I'm in Miami.
He's taking his talents to South Beach.
South Beach.
That's not a good mix for anyone, for you or Miami. Aaron Schwartz would like to go to the Lewisburg Cider Mill on Sunday.
I would love. My wife keeps bugging me to go, so yeah.
I think we should all go early. Because you have to work at the
early
game.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be there at the game, yes.
Okay, and so I have to work at the game. So at early Sunday, Nate Bucati has said that he'll do his famous bobbing for apples.
Yep.
Undefeated. You talk about the Chiefs undefeated.
He was a 4-time Kansas State champion.
Never lost my jump.
Hey there.
No hands,
really
bobbing
me.
for apples.
Boy, you always take it a step too far, don't you?
You said no hands.
I got so excited.
That's how you bob for apples, is it not?
Well, it's been a long time. Jake?
See.
Would you challenge him?
Opens at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Let's do it. Get the right at 10. All right. You guys want to get together and watch the Missouri-Florida game?
I've got something going on Saturday. Yeah.
I got a spot for you. Missouri quarterback James Franklin has a sprained throwing shoulder and will miss 3 to 5 weeks, according to head coach Gary Pinkel in his Monday weekly news conference. Here's what Gary Pinkel had to say about the Mizzou quarterback.
James Franklin has a sprain in his shoulder, throwing shoulder, and he's going to be 3 to 5 weeks. And somewhere in there, and I'm sure he's going to work very, very hard with our medical staff to get back as quick as he possibly can.
So not out for the season, contrary to reports.
3 to 5 weeks. You know, Missouri has the big game against Florida. Missouri, despite being ranked higher, they are underdogs. I think, was it 2.5 or 3 points early? Let's see. If it's 3 to 5 weeks, let's be on the good side. You got Florida, and then you got the home game against South Carolina, and then home game against Tennessee. So then maybe back for the game at Kentucky November 9th. Then, thankfully, they have a bye week. I was very angry at this late bye. I don't like late byes, especially when everything's going on. But, boy, that's fortunate. And then November 23rd at Ole Miss, and November 30th home against Texas A&M. 2 huge games. So maybe he's back for those 2. That would be terrific. But until then, Matty Mock, redshirt freshman, will be Missouri's starting quarterback. And Gary Pinkel is telling you that Matty Mock will be ready on Saturday.
Thrown in the fires pretty quick, huh? In a pretty hostile environment too. I thought he did a good job. You know, that's a surprise. He's a pretty poised guy, so that's kind of, I think it's a little bit like him, and he's certainly excited about the opportunity. I think the other thing too is, you know, he's surrounded by an experienced offensive line, receivers. He's got a lot of good people around him, and you know, all those people, you know, step up their game a little bit. That's going to help him quarterback a little bit.
That's a very specific 11:21 kickoff.
Well, that's a tea bag that's about to be put in some hot water.
Boy, you got a filthy mouth.
I'm just carrying out Gary Pinkel's analogy.
You know, one thing we haven't talked about, Florida, they are forced to start their backup quarterback. They also lose their starting running back. They will be without Matt Jones for the remainder of the year. He had Monday morning surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his left knee. He had 79 carries for 339 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. So Florida's got their injury problems too.
Yep.
What about Kansas and Kansas State, Nate?
Well, University of Kansas played a close game at TCU, a lot closer than the experts thought, but I think they're past looking for moral victories. Kansas, they're trying to find a conference win. They lost to TCU 27-17. Now, a big part of the reason that game was so close was 5 TCU turnovers, including a pick 6 in that game. But Kansas was only able to rush for 46 yards in the game. A lot of that because of the losses they took in sacks. Charlie Weiss yesterday on the conference call broke down the TCU loss for KU.
We went into the game saying that we're going to play conservative on offense, play tough defense, try not to turn the ball over, do a better job on field position, and have a chance to win in the fourth quarter. And all those things really carried over into the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point game the entire fourth quarter, and we put ourselves in a bind in the fourth quarter because we never had an opportunity to really flip field position, and we were playing on our end of the field that whole quarter. And right now we don't have a lot of offensive, dynamic players with Tony out. You don't have a lot of dynamic players, so going on 12-play drives to length of the field, is a little bit of a tough task. But the things we went into the game after Texas Tech, how that game had gotten away from us, we said we were going to tighten the reins, play a conservative game, and have an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter. That was the case. Unfortunately, we didn't. It didn't finish off the way you'd like it to.
This week coming in, you're going to face an Oklahoma team coming off a loss against Texas. What do you expect out of them coming to your place?
Well, I mean, statistically, if you go back to look at Coach Stoops' record coming off the Red River rivalry, especially off of a loss, the numbers are almost astounding of the dominance that they've shown, coming off of that game right there. And we're going to be ready for we're going to be ready for their A game, because I'm sure they're not in the happiest of spirits right now.
I think Texas is 14-0 under Bob Stoops after the Red River rivalry.
How about Oklahoma?
Or Oklahoma. Yeah, I don't really care about what Texas is, do I? Oklahoma is 14-0 after that game. I think a lot of those games have been against Kansas. Now, defensive tackle Jordan Phillips will have surgery for a chronic back issue for Oklahoma, so he will miss the rest of the season. Meanwhile, for Kansas State, they lost 35-25 to Baylor, kept that game a lot closer than people thought. And Bill Snyder says even with these losses that they've had, he's still going to work with this two-quarterback system.
Our situation may or may not be the same as someone else's. We just have two young guys, and those are the only ones I can speak to. Two young guys that are, competing in a very positive way to be the number one quarterback, and both of them have demonstrated the capabilities to be on the field and deserve to play. They're both still trying to get better. They work well together. We've been able to kind of ease our way into that system. I've never been particularly a big fan of having a dual quarterback situation, but nevertheless, it is what it is. And as I said, both of them deserve to play and consequently will.
K-State is off this weekend. They will take on West Virginia and kill the Mountaineers a week from Saturday.
They'll win their next two games, home against West Virginia and home against Iowa State, for a big game at Texas Tech. What do you think of that?
I think I agree with you. I think Iowa State will put up a good fight, but I think that you're right. I think K-State's going to win their next two games.
All right, when we come back, we already have Dennis Dodd in studio, as you can see. Mm-hmm. That's right, baby. Dennis Dodd is here from CBSSports.com to talk some college football with you and break down this big matchup between Mizzou and Florida. We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot.
Listening to the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol. The Border Patrol. On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's the Big Score Sale. Your chance to save thousands of dollars.
Pull up the crime of the century.
Okay. PETA up on a telephone pole?
Check.
PETA cutting the wires to the alarm?
Check.
Sexy PETA distracting the guards?
Check. Hello, boys. Come up and have sex with me sometime.
Next, Family Guy. Viewer discretion advised.
Watch tonight at 6 on 38 The Spot.
Sell your house today. We're the We Buy Ugly Houses people. We buy houses in as-is condition. Foreclosure, inheritance, whatever your home hassle is. Don't make another house payment. Get your cash fast. We Buy Ugly Houses, 913-583-1199.
Now that I have Assurance, I can call our doctor.
Introducing Free Talk and Text from Assurance Wireless in your area. It's the best value in calling plans among major Lifeline assistance programs. Assurance Wireless offers eligible households a free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
With free talk and text, you get a free phone, nationwide coverage, and these calling features. It's a great way to connect to more.
Now that we have Assurance, we can keep in touch with our grandchildren.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs.
It's a great value.
Call now to see if you qualify for free talk and text, a free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month with no annual contract.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit AssuranceWireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
Hi, neighbor. I'm Pete Franklin. We're not leaving the store until we've sold enough cars. If necessary, we'll stay around the clock.
Give Pete a chance.
Choose your car, truck, van, and SUV. Give me 10 minutes. I'll get you financed and on the road. Do what nearly 47,000 happy customers have done.
Give Pete a chance.
I'll save you thousands right now. Pete Franklin's Best Cars KC. We moved to 6110 North Oak Traffic Way. 816-283-6900 or bestcarskc.com.
Together, we make the first night of football every week, which means we make the first.
Go, Pat, go!
And the first. The first. And of course, the first.
Touchdown!
Together, we make the first night of football every week. Together, we make football.
You can start a career in healthcare in just 9 short months.
Seriously? Just 9 months?
I'd love working in healthcare. Did you say 9 months? Concord Career College can prepare you for some of today's most in-demand careers in as little as 9 months.
9 months is fast for a whole new career.
I don't want to wait 4 years for a new career. Don't wait. Pick up the phone and call. Your 9 months begins now.
Call 877-669-2323. That's 877-669-2323.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am
a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years.
I've been a helpful smile for 39 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
Don't make another house payment. Sell your house today. We're Homevestors. We buy houses in any condition. Whatever your home hassle is, I can help. Call me by Thursday and I'll give you an extra $1,000. We're the We Buy Ugly Houses people. 913-583-1199.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You're watching 38 The Spot and listening to the White Stripes. Dennis Dodd from CBSSports.com is in studio. Hello, Dennis. How are you?
Good morning.
And, you know, you're just warming up by appearing on camera. You're just warming up for a big week and a big weekend because you're going to be all over the place. You're not going to be at a game, but we can watch you and listen to your analysis of everything happening this weekend in college football, correct?
I'm breaking a lot of lenses. That's correct.
Let's do it.
CBS Sports Network will be taping tonight. And I think the show is shown all week. Fast Football debuts tonight. Not debuts, but just shown for the first time tonight on CBS Sportsnet. And then in studio Saturday in the South Florida office for our football show on the site on CBSSports.com all day.
So Dennis Dodd, you can get Dennis Dodd's thoughts on everything college football all week long. And I also want to mention that another one of our regular guests, Gary Barnett, great college football insider, he's going to be at the Tiger Club of Kansas City today, down at Westport Flea Market. So if you want to get down there and have lunch in the 11 o'clock hour, then I think he's going to speak a little bit after noon and get a chance to hear just a great college football mind talking about Missouri. You said all the arrows pointed to an upset, and then he came on the show and said he didn't see any way Missouri was going to lose the game.
Yeah.
And I was after talking to you two, I'm like, whoa, wow, let's.
Now, I wonder if he would have said that if he had known that E.J. Gaines and James Franklin would both get injured during the game. Because you would have thought, well, that's a way they can lose the game.
That's the formula.
But they still won.
Right, and defense was a big part of it. Dennis, unbelievable performance by Mizzou in their 41-26 victory.
Yeah, I think it was the difference between them being in the SEC and now competing in the SEC. Because I thought about this on the way over this morning. There are kids who watch that game that are going to say, recruits are going to say, I want to do that. I want to be part of that. That was special. And that's the kind of game where you turn a corner in a lot of areas. Look, I'm not going to say they're going to win the East. They got a great chance, or win the SEC. But now they're a factor. Now they're a team instead of just some expansion, throwaway that they got out there to fill out their roster. I think Missouri belongs in the SEC.
Okay, and can we say now that some of this talk about how hard it was going to be for these teams from the Big 12 to compete in this almighty SEC was a little overblown? Texas A&M walked in the first year and was a contender right away. Missouri had issues at quarterback and a bit of a dysfunctional team last year, and it only took them 1 year, and they're already competing, and they belong in this conference. So can we say that was a little overblown now?
Yeah, I think both those teams, A&M and Missouri, either rode the wave or brought that wave that has now infected the whole country of this offensive revolution, with this zone read up tempo. Missouri's been running it for, 10 years?
And that was supposed to never work. Oh, Missouri can't
work.
Run this offense in the SEC against these athletes. That'll never work.
And A&M beat Alabama and maybe should have beaten Alabama twice with a quote, Big 12 offense. Alabama itself has been wrapped up in it, and it's not going to end anytime soon. So, yeah, they have brought, in a sense, their style of football to the SEC, and the SEC's had to deal with it.
Well, we're recalling the past. Do you remember when the Big 12 got better by adding West Virginia and TCU and getting rid of A&M and Missouri?
Yeah.
Now it's a better football league now.
Yeah, it's not a good league right now, and that was a bad loss for Oklahoma. Not that it was unexpected. I think a lot of people thought that Oklahoma was going to roll over them for the fourth straight time, but it gets rid of another undefeated team. And now you've only got two, and it's Baylor and Texas Tech, and I don't know if either one of those are going to go undefeated. I think it would be nice if either one won the Big 12, but it would be a fourth straight year for Texas not being in a BCS Bowl, and a third or fourth straight year for Oklahoma not being in a BCS Bowl.
And to what Stephen's saying, for the record, I never felt that way. I know a lot of people who support the Big 12 wanted to say that because at the time TCU and West Virginia might have been ranked higher in the standings or whatever. But I look at it this way. I was down in that was my first trip to Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth. What a beautiful stadium that is, by the way. And they got a ton of money there. They raised $100 million to renovate their stadium, and it took, I think, their 84 phone calls to get the money. But it's a 45,000-seat stadium. I realize they're just playing Kansas, but it was homecoming for them. That stadium might have been half full.
Yeah.
Might have been half full. And that's where you lose a program like A&M that fills up an 80,000 or whatever, a 70,000-seat stadium every single Saturday. You lose a program in Missouri, which is the only program in an entire state, a big state like Missouri, and you replace them with schools that can't fill a 45,000-seat stadium and another school that takes 5 hours to get to from anywhere in the Big 12. Your conference didn't get better. You did the best you could. I'm not blaming the Big 12 for adding them. They did the best they could. But there's no way that I could sit here and say this. That's part of the reason I'm so angry about conference realignment as a Big 12 fan. I get mad every time I have to get on a plane. I got to go to West Virginia.
Right.
It doesn't even make any sense to go to West Virginia. And think about what West Virginia must feel every time they get on a plane. Anyways, we digress. Back to Missouri. They belong.
No, we've been out of time for this segment. you did what you're supposed to do. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Missouri.
Don't accuse me of that. I haven't tried to.
Started talking about. Hey, let me tell you about the Big 12 for a minute. Dennis, you talked to Josh Henson last night, the offensive coordinator, who deserves a lot of credit. And when we come back, we're going to get your thoughts and what he had to say about the double pass, the play that really, especially if this season turns out to be as special as it could. We're talking about that play for a long, long time. I know Georgia fans will, too. We'll be back after this with Dennis Dodd from CBSSports.com in studio right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Yeah, Nate's sticking around, too, right here on 30th.
I'll just keep my mouth shut.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
3 great reasons to buy a new Escape at Bob Allen Ford.
Krusty's got a new agent.
I promise you, Krusty will show up on time or sober. That's right, I said or.
Now he's bigger than ever.
Thanks to you, honey. I'll take that.
The Simpsons.
Watch tonight at 6:30 on 38th The Spot.
Hi, I'm Neil from Neil's Finance Plaza. I got my ride. Get yours. All you need is $9 down. We have hundreds to choose from. Just sign and drive away. Give me a call right now for pre-approval and get your ride.
The internet's slow again.
I am really freaking out about having another kid.
Why, you're a great father.
It's not that. It's that one more person would be sharing our internet. AT&T DSL is already slow.
Well, they are the phone company.
With Time Warner Cable, you can power all of your family's devices at the same time with internet that's not limited like DSL.
If your internet's slow, it's time to rethink AT&T. Call 1-855-1-TWC to get internet for as little as $19.99 a month. Ask how you can upgrade and get a $300 Visa reward card. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
I remember walking to department stores with my mom, and she'd look at all this beautiful furniture. She'd ooh and she'd on, and she'd look at the price tag, and she'd go, do they think we have no style because we have no money? When I decided to partner with Nebraska Furniture Mart, that was the first thing we talked about, that we want to be able to provide their customer and the people that I know with the best things possible for their home without spending a lot of money.
See the Angelo Home Collection at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
In just 7 weeks, you could begin your new career in nursing as a certified nursing assistant. Call National American University 913-981-8700 and enroll today. The CNA Certified Nursing Assistant Program is a 7-week course. Think of it. In just 7 weeks, you'll complete your training, receive your certificate, and begin your new career in nursing. Call National American University 913-981-8700 and enroll today.
Here's the first question we'll ask at IncomeAtHome.com. How much money do you need to make each month? IncomeAtHome.com is affiliated with a multi-billion-dollar company and carries a AAA rating. That's how Diane heard about us.
From Dr. Lori herself. I figured, what do I have to lose? First month I made over $1,000, and it just keeps growing.
You really should visit IncomeAtHome.com today.
Go online at IncomeAtHome27.com.
It's time to head back to school. Set off on the quest for knowledge.
The coolest.
Pursue higher education.
You just wrinkled my brain, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. You need a blow-off class.
I found it. Ultimate blow-off class.
Head back to school with 38 The Spot Comedy 101.
So what's the guy got to do to get a C around here?
Enroll now and watch Community weeknights at 9 and 9:30.
The deadline to enroll is tomorrow. I suggest you all do it.
Only on 38 The Spot for comedy.
Whether it's up high,
Phone 5. What's that? Cell 5. Nice.
or down low,
High 5. We're out of weight. Solemn low 5.
put your hands in the air for these 5 friends.
Give me multiple high fives.
Arthritis 5. Free laps 5. Wordplay 5. Freeze frame high 5. A high 5 doesn't even cut it. High 6. Up top.
On How I Met Your Mother.
Worth it.
Watch weeknights starting at 10 on 38th The Spot.
Hi, I'm Neil from Neil's Finance Plaza. I got my ride. Get yours. All you need is $9 down. We have hundreds to choose from. Just sign and drive away. Give me a call right now for pre-approval and get your ride.
Right this minute, videos first.
A fearless stuntman taking a high-flying risk.
Don't try this at home.
See the death-defying stunts he's pulling off next, right this minute.
Watch tonight at 7 on 38th The Spot.
Morning, Kansas City. I'm Aaron Sports with your bottom of the hour update. Gary Pinkel confirmed yesterday that quarterback James Franklin will, in fact, miss some time. Reports had that he had a separated shoulder, but that was false. Diagnosed with a sprained shoulder instead. Will miss 3 to 5 weeks. Backup Matty Mock will make his first college career start on Saturday when Florida comes to Columbia. Kickoff at 11:21. Stephen St. John on the SEC Network. Andy Reid says that Brandon Albert should be okay for Sunday's game against the Texans. Albert strained both his elbow and knee on Sunday against the Raiders. He also said that Anthony Fasano should start practicing this week after being out since week 3. And the St. Louis Cardinals dropped Game 3 of the NLCS to the Dodgers 3-0 last night. Dennis Dodd, you can hear the Game 4 at 7 on Sports Radio 810 WHB tonight. The Red Sox and Tigers this afternoon at 3 p.m. on ESPN 1510. I'm Aaron Swartz with your bottom of the hour update.
Good song, Jake and Tara's Little Warren Zevon for you in the morning, right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. Stephen St. John, Nate Bukaty, and Dennis Dodd from CBSSports.com. All right, Dennis, the game was in doubt. It was 28-26. James Franklin gets hit, driven into the ground. Have you watched that play?
A couple times, yeah. Questionable. Questionable.
It was sent to the SEC by Gary Pinkel.
Yeah, questionable. You know, we'll see. If they didn't penalize Quentin Dials for his hit on Aaron Murray in the championship game last year, I don't think they're going to penalize that. But, yeah, questionable.
Well, he goes out of the game.
Yep.
And in comes Matty Mock in the 3rd and 6 situation, runs for 6 yards, gets the first down. Henry Josie runs for 9 yards to the Georgia 40, so it's 2nd and 1, and that's when they decided to try the double pass. Matty Mock to Bud Sasser to LaDamian Washington for a 40-yard touchdown that gave Missouri a 34-26 lead. You talked to Josh Henson, the offensive coordinator. Tell me about this play.
He said they'd repped it for a while, which means I don't think it was just put in last week. And it seemed to work. They liked it. It was a good time to do it. It was 2nd and 1, so there's really no, unless you get, a loss or something on the play, you can come right back on 3rd and 1 and get your first down. Liked Bud Sasser throwing the ball. And I asked him, I said, is there anything in his background that suggested he should make that play? He said, no, just tossing it around in practice. He didn't play quarterback in high school. He played receiver. And he threw a strike to Washington. I thought Washington, having seen it again, it's a good thing Washington caught the ball because he was absolutely tackled, just about tackled in the end zone. If it's just pass interference, that's a win play for Georgia at that time. I'm not saying Missouri doesn't go in, but it's a 2-point game and it's pass interference. Georgia can live with that at that time. He made a great catch after being, obviously interfered with in the end zone.
But it seemed like they never recovered. And Nate, you've been around college football enough to when a momentum changer like that happens, that's almost a knockout blow that Georgia, they never played the same after that. That was huge. So, yeah, a pass interference call would have been nice for Missouri, but to score that touchdown, you felt that stadium absolutely deflate. Now, they missed the extra point, which kept Georgia in it, which I sat there for a good 10 solid minutes muttering things to myself. But, again, that we could look at that play at the end of the season and say that changed the entire season, the direction of what was going to happen with this football team.
I totally agree, but I think I'll go with Gabe DeArmond, who was on with us yesterday, and I think that while Henson deserves credit for the call, the real credit goes to LaDamian Washington.
Right.
Because he competed for that football. And that's something that you don't see enough wide receivers do. The great ones do it. They compete for the ball, first of all, to make sure that it's not an interception, because you mentioned what's the downside risk. The risk there is you're throwing to a covered receiver. If it gets picked off, then Missouri probably loses that game, I think. And so, first of all, he competes for it to not get intercepted. Second of all, he competes for it to make the play. And it's the oldest adage in sports, but what makes great coaches is great players. And you can, if he had dialed up that play and it so fooled Georgia that Washington's running through the back of the end zone by himself, then you say, wow, what an amazing call. He saw something there. But he was covered. He was covered, and he went and he caught that. He like you said, he was being interfered with, and he never gave up, and he caught the ball.
And you love the story about him going to Sasser before the play.
Yeah.
Even if I'm covered, just throw it to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I will catch it.
And he
played
played
to me.
Yeah.
How many receivers do you see give up on plays like that and just raise their arms and go, just interference?
Right.
Yeah. It's like,
or look for the flag.
Yeah. They're pulling the imaginary handkerchief out of the box.
Through the ball.
Flag.
That's what I hate about the NFL. It's like half the big plays are on interference because it's not a spot foul. It's a spot foul.
Right.
It can be a game changer for something you didn't earn.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Matty Mock is going to be the starting quarterback, but Florida is also with their backup quarterback because Jeff Driscoll's hurt. What about Tyler Murphy?
I think a lot of their fans think that they got better. It's addition by subtraction with Jeff Driscoll. Jeff Driscoll is a 5-star guy who, throughout his career, hasn't been able to take care of the ball, and especially in the red zone. And when he got hurt against Miami, The long-term prognosis is now I think Florida got better. Now, he's still learning. They're not going to give him everything in the playbook, but he's not turning it over in with a team that is top-heavy on defense. You can't give the other team a short team when your defense is carrying the team. It seems to me he's better athletically. I don't think he's as good a thrower, but it's really simple. He makes good decisions, and if he doesn't pop the ball loose, throw interceptions, fumbles, they're going to be fine. They're not going to be great, but they're going to be fine, and that's what Florida was going to be before the season. So I think they got better when Jeff Driscoll got hurt.
Is the loss of starting running back Matt Jones a big deal?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's their best runner. He's their best between tackles runner. He's their best compete runner. If they don't have him, they get a little bit worse back there. They're deep, but they're not that deep. Matt Jones was one of the best runners in the SEC.
It should be very interesting also to see what type of offense. Is it wide open? Are they going to scale back quite a bit? I'm talking about Missouri with Matty Mock. He can run. There's no doubt about that. But clearly they're not going to be able to do everything they could with James Franklin at the helm.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Gary Pinkel mentioned at least twice yesterday, we're going to run our offense. Again, what do you expect him to say?
Right, he's got to say that.
Right. But I asked Josh Henson about that, and he said, yeah, we are. They put in the game plan today and tomorrow, and he did say they're going to have to go over, because Matty Mock doesn't get the same reps. They're going to have to go over some things, off the field and film, to get him ready, whereas James Franklin would be, okay, we're going to do this and this and this situation, even though automatically they're going to have to go through that, the study session to get him ready. So, yeah, I expect them. I think we talked about this off air. They'll dial it back. They'll go to a running heavy game to try to wear Florida out. Short passing game. You don't want to get in third and long anytime, but especially with a young quarterback like that. And keep him from having to make plays on his own like James Franklin does. And let's not forget this Missouri defense. Michael Sam is right now an All-American. We're at the halfway point of the season. We're coming out with our halfway All-American team today. I would advise everyone to pay close attention to that. People from Missouri. I think I'm dropping a hint there. But
what time is that coming out?
I don't know when they're going to post it. Usually the optimal times are between 10 and 3, so look for it then. I haven't checked with the office yet. So. But Michael Sam's an All-American. It's a big play defense. We see in this game that 28 is the new 17. Missouri can give up 28 points, and I think play great and win a game. And I think you're seeing that.
He had a huge sack that was negated by a penalty, and then he scored a touchdown. He's been all over the place.
Shane Ray just needs to learn where to line up. Right?
Yeah, he had the 3 offsides penalties were driving me crazy, but then, of course, he gets the sack that forces the fumble. So you know what? I'll take the offsides penalties if he can force a fumble that leads to a touchdown.
I think he thought it looked like Derek. Remember Derek Thomas always thought he had the snap count?
But wasn't that bizarre, though?
Yeah.
And it kept happening, and there was one
he must have thought he
I think Derek Thomas, by the end of his career, started to get it. He would be halfway into the neutral zone. Yeah. The refs just wouldn't call it because it was Derek Thomas.
They showed Pinkel's face after one of them, and it's like he had turned to stone.
Yeah.
He was like staring at
hold your water, son. Hold your water.
Well, who wins the game?
I went the same way I did last week. I picked Florida and then Missouri with the points, and obviously I was wrong last week. I would have been all in if Franklin was playing. I still think they're going to win one of these games. And maybe it's South Carolina, who's not as well-rounded as defensively as Florida.
Who's the better team, Florida or South Carolina?
I think right now South Carolina is, because they've kind of rebounded from that early loss and have come back and got past the Jadeveon Clowney thing. Connor Shaw is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the SEC, and they're running the ball with Davis. Florida's very, very top-heavy with defense. So I think right now that could change in the next 2 weeks. South Carolina's better.
Well, the other huge game this week in college football that I think everyone's going to have their eyes on, Florida State and Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the winner of this game, you have to feel really good about having a shot at a national championship, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's playing for the national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a revenge game for Clemson. They got blitzed early at FSU last year and lost. They got at their place. Florida State's had a week off. 2 fantastic quarterbacks. Jameis Winston could be the next freshman to win a Heisman. Taj Boyd has had an unbelievable year. It should be a shootout. Let's not forget the ACC has 3 undefeated teams. Miami's out there. They still have to go to Florida State on November 2nd. But it's really a big thing for the ACC. They could have, as you said, a national championship contender for the winner who comes out of this. So that this is the game of the century in the ACC, if there is such a thing.
Who's the winner?
I think Clemson. I picked Clemson from the time the schedule came out. It's a revenge game. Everything else being equal, I like them touching Howard's Rock and riding that momentum all the way down. Maybe a 38-36 game, because you're going to see some unbelievably fantastic plays by these two quarterbacks. But I do think Clemson takes it.
Nate wants to know about Oklahoma, Kansas. Ask him, Nate.
Oklahoma ripe for the upset. No.
Are they?
No. Bob Stoops is 14. I think it's 14-0 now in games after Texas.
Yep.
In his time at Oklahoma.
And you say, how many times has that been Kansas?
Right.
A lot.
Why is it always Kansas?
Well, and ever since now that they've gone to the 10-team format, it will be Kansas every year for the foreseeable future, because it's the same schedule every year in terms of conference games. So,
that's not nice.
No, it's not. I mean, you know what? So that in some ways begs the question a little bit. Are they 14-0 because Stoops does such a great job of refocusing his team, or are they 14-0 because they've gotten to play a lot of games against Kansas?
Well, and they've won 9 of those Texas games, so they come in on a wave.
What's the line? Does anyone know the line?
23.5.
Wow.
Jake has a big smile.
I'll tell you what, I might want some of that, because of I didn't like the quarterback play out of Oklahoma at all.
You're not a big fan of the Belldozer?
You'll take 23.5?
Not right now, I'm not. I might want some of that, yeah.
I will say this. The KU defense has been improved this year.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, if you leave them out there for 100 plays like they did against Texas Tech, they will be exposed like I think most defenses would. The offense at some point has to show the ability to get a first down, which they have a tough time even doing that at KU right now.
Dennis, always good to have you in studio. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks, watching all week. And also, Jake wants to talk to you about that point spread. He's asking for a friend, not him. So we can just talk to you before you leave. Back after this on WHB and 38 The Spot.
The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The Team Bowling Championship, Doug has to lose his worst player, his wife.
Like Sophie's Choice. Not really.
She had to decide which of her children to give to the Nazis.
Okay, yeah, that's harder.
Next, King of Queens.
You fire her off the team? Mr. Arnold, Benedict Arnold, famous traitor, Revolutionary War. Doesn't anybody read a book around here?
Watch today at 5 on 38 The Spot for comedy.
Find your new jobs now with USA Job TV. The University of Kansas Hospital is seeking a rehab inpatient admissions nurse, a clinical nurse for the OR, and a unit coordinator in cardiac ICU. Apply now. See all University of Kansas Hospital positions at usajobtv.com.
Yeah, you're welcome. You should go ahead.
Well, thank you.
They say no good deed goes unpunished. And some days it seems true. But we keep on doing the things that matter, like buying new Raspberry 5-Hour Energy. From now to the end of the year, a portion of each sale benefits Living Beyond Breast Cancer to empower women affected by breast cancer. New Raspberry 5-Hour Energy. It's one good deed that will go just right.
In just 7 weeks, you could begin your new career in nursing as a certified nursing assistant. Call National American University 913-981-8700 and enroll today. The CNA Certified Nursing Assistant Program is a 7-week course. Think of it. In just 7 weeks, you'll complete your training, receive your certificate, and begin your new career in nursing. Call National American University 913-981-8700 and enroll today.
All over Kansas City, people are having the same reaction. We call it the new look of Standard on the all-new American-made 2013 Accord for $219 a month. Your local Honda dealers raised the bar with features like rear-view camera, USB port, Bluetooth, and alloy wheels, all standard. Our competition calls these options. To get the all-new 2013 Accord for only $219 a month, hurry to your Kansas City Honda dealers. Visit kchondadealers.com.
Now that I have Assurance, I can call our doctor.
Introducing Free Talk and Text from Assurance Wireless in your area. It's the best value in calling plans among major Lifeline assistance programs. Assurance Wireless offers eligible households a free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
With Free Talk and Text, you get a free phone, nationwide coverage, and these calling features. It's a great way to connect to more.
Now that we have Assurance, we can keep in touch with our grandchildren.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs.
It's a great value.
Call now to see if you qualify for free talk and text, a free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month with no annual contract.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit AssuranceWireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
If you've been injured in an auto accident and the insurance company tells you that you don't need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer. Peterson and Associates, protecting you.
Together, we make the first night of football every week, which means we make the first.
Go, Pat, go!
And the first. The first. And of course, the first.
Touchdown!
Together, we make the first night of football every week. Together, we make football.
B.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. And if you watch 38 The Spot, you know Crystal Lampett, the host of 38 The Spot, who's in studio with us right now. Hello, Crystal. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're very excited to have you here because we're still getting acclimated to TV life.
I know I was going to ask you how it's going. Do you feel like it's a big change now that you're on TV?
Yes. I don't know how it's going. Sometimes I wonder, but I think it's going pretty good. What do you think, Nate?
I think it's going quite well. Yeah, we've had a lot of feedback that we look very good on television.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah,
I've received
Do people
none of
like
that
recognize you a lot more?
They recognize the beard. That gives me away. Other than that, you know what? At the Chiefs game, a lot of people said they were watching on 38 The Spot, so I was actually frightened by that.
Yeah, it's a little. It feels like somebody's spying on you right now because the cameras are like hanging from the ceilings here. They're not like the big cameras with the red lights on them. You know.
It's weird for me, too.
And we haven't figured out, Steven and I tried to apply one another's makeup before the show.
You did. Yours looks really good. But you've had a lot of practice.
Yeah, I wear makeup as a general rule anyway. Yeah.
People complain about a glare off my head.
Mm-hmm. You know, you can't. You gotta get some good HD powder.
Right.
And that'll help kind of fill in the pores and reduce the shine.
Yeah. See, Jake talks about HD powder, but I think he's talking about something different a lot of the time.
What that means.
What do you think about that? Like, we actually did have a call yesterday that was complaining about his appearance on the show.
We did?
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you guys.
Maybe you guys got to give him some of your fashion.
They said, well, he shaved today, but they said, he wasn't shaved yesterday.
Well, I look good today, right?
Yeah.
But yesterday,
I took the hat off.
Yeah.
You have your boyish hairstyle.
He does. I was just about to comment on his hair.
Is that right?
It's really cute.
Okay, so now you're on TV all the time, so then tell us, what are some tips that we need to follow to maintain the proper appearance on television?
Sure. Well, grooming the beard, important for you. And I think you've got something on your shirt. Or
some sort of weird stain there?
Some weird, I think you got to get rid of that.
Oh, this?
You definitely got to get rid of that.
Yeah. Some sort of weird stain. I thought you were talking about the Kansas football team.
You got to get rid of that shirt. But besides that, you're doing pretty good.
Are you a Jayhawk?
I guess so.
You guess so? What are you reluctant to claim?
I wasn't supposed to be so open about that.
Oh, you were
supposed
to keep
I'm supposed to be neutral,
yes.
but since then, it's really easy to figure out where I went to school.
That's
so
okay.
Anybody can access that information.
We don't. Yeah, we don't put any false fronts up here. You got to be who you are on this show.
Yes.
So you're a Jayhawk.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. People know. You're not hiding anything. You're open, and you tell people where your allegiances lie. That's all.
Where do your allegiances lie when it comes to Gary Lezak?
I'm a fan.
You're pro Lezak?
Pro Lezak. He's awesome. I also love Kaylee Dion. She's super cool, and they're both super accurate, nice people. I mean, I see them every day. Yeah. What do you think?
I love Gary. I wish he'd talk more about sports when he comes on the show.
But weather's his expertise, so what can you say?
Boy.
You know.
No, the hard part is getting him to actually give us the forecast.
You have a bag there. What did you bring here?
I brought you guys some presents.
I'm curious about this.
So, just as a congratulations, as your first week or so on air. These are actually koozies.
Oh, wow.
And they have my face on them.
Crystal Lampet koozies.
Forget.
Wow, that's got to be collector's. Look at that.
They're snap-on koozies.
So
they'll fit any beverage. And
so you could drink soda.
Soda, there you go.
Keep your sodas cool.
I need to take a picture of that. There you go. It needs the face needs
to be on. It's still cold. Wow, it's amazing. But your hand's not.
Okay.
And
you've made it when you have your own koozie, like your own face on a koozie.
Oh, I've been told that before. What's this?
These are SPF 15 strawberry flavored lip balms.
Crystal Lampet lip gloss.
Also with my face.
Wow.
Not lip gloss, lip balm.
Lip
it's
balm.
manly. Just because it has my face on it.
Play the Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, boy.
Right now.
Oh, boy.
That's creepy.
This
now you've made it creepy. This was like really fun, and now it's
moment
creepy.
in television history.
Wow.
I'm not going to do it.
We're really disgusted. Yeah.
Should I? No, I won't.
No,
Good.
You'll ruin it for everyone.
What
but
else?
these are collector's
What else is in
items.
there?
That's it.
Oh,
a few more koozies.
I want
a few more
things.
But I'll give you some more
see
koozies
this?
you can hand out to your fans.
Which camera should I show this to,
right?
Jake? The Crystal Lampet koozie?
What's happening right now on the show?
I don't know. Why don't you get up and do your little...
I've changed the vibe up quite a bit, haven't I? This is what happens when you have a woman.
Horses.
Goodbye, horses. I don't know the name of the song.
I'm sorry. Did I totally change up the vibe with my womanliness?
This changed up the vibe right here.
You said you were a good dancer. Let's see the grease moves.
Yeah, let's not see the Silence of the Lambs moves. Let's see the grease moves. That would be much better.
Hey, put the lotion in the basket. Back after this.
It does
on
what it's told.
WHB and 38 to Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
On the next How I Met Your Mother, the guys drive the ladies crazy.
You gotta dish her. What? She's got the crazy eyes.
Now, date night becomes fright night.
Would you like to have a threesome?
Of course.
Great. It'd be me, you, and Mr. Weasels.
And the guys better watch their backs.
So, should we go get a drink?
As long as it's in your apartment. Oh, I'm sorry.
Next, How I Met Your Mother.
Watch tonight at 10 on 38 The Spot.
Hi, I'm Neil from Neil's Finance Plaza. I got my ride. Get yours. All you need is $9 down. We have hundreds to choose from. Just sign and drive away. Give me a call right now for pre-approval and get your ride.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
Introducing free talk and text from Assurance Wireless in your area. It's the best value in calling plans among major Lifeline assistance programs. Assurance Wireless, a Lifeline assistance program, offers eligible households a free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month. You'll get nationwide coverage in these calling features. You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs.
Visit AssuranceWireless.com or call 1-800-833-8333.
Can I watch cartoons?
Oh, why don't you go outside and play? Oh.
But there's a storm.
Sorry, buddy. Uverse has their limits. Mom's recording 2 shows, Grandpa's watching the news, and I gotta watch the end of this. And that's the limit. I'll be out right after the game.
With Time Warner Cable, you can watch more than 4 shows at the same time.
If you reached your limit, it's time to rethink Uverse. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC to get TV, internet, and phone for as little as $79.99 a month. Ask how you can upgrade and get a $300 Visa reward card. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Designer Angelo Sermalise on the Angelo Home Collection at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
It is a huge passion of mine to help people live a better life in their homes. Because if you can walk into your home at the end of the day and feel like it is the best representation of you, you're going to stand stronger, you're going to stand straighter, and you're just going to feel better about you. And you can do that. You can afford to do that here at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
National American University presents One. Be a full-time student 1 day a week, only 1 day or 1 night, even Saturday.
1 day, 1 night, Saturday's all right. Online's just fine. Nighttime, anytime, get your degree. Set yourself free. National American University.
Be a full-time student 1 day a week at National American University.
Call 866-628-1288.
I am a helpful smile.
With local grown and homegrown produce.
What we do is find the best local growers.
We'll contract with the best local growers right down the street from your store. It comes right from the farm to Hy-Vee.
Farmers you know, the people in your communities, we even have signs that tell you which farm it was grown on.
It's pretty much like a farmer's market in here. You can't get any fresher than that unless you pick it yourself.
I am a helpful.
Farm fresh.
Sustainable.
Local.
Homegrown.
Bringing you the freshest produce smile.
And that's my promise.
Hi, I'm Neil from Neil's Finance Plaza. I got my ride. Get yours. All you need is $9 down. We have hundreds to choose from. Just sign and drive away. Give me a call right now for pre-approval and get your ride.
More Q Lazarus, the best dance song ever. Nate Bukaty signing off today. Take it away, sir.
Thanks to everybody for watching on 38 The Spot. Crystal, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I hope you enjoy your gifts, those koozies and chapsticks.
And if you'd like to see more creepy dancing like this, tune in again tomorrow morning at 7 on 38 The Spot.
Good times.
Now on.
You've been watching the Border Patrol on 38 The Spot.